Hi guys, my name is Loyiso Thupaemang. I am from September. I guess nog laat in die 2000s. Ja. Today gaan ons praat oor June 16, what it actually is.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
June 16 means to me, it's about young kids that fought back in 1976 for education and a language they could all learn in. June 16 symbolizes for me that we can still fight, that it's worth fighting for education, even in today's life. A lot of young kids back then died for us. I could say they fought for our rights. They fought for us to be more educated. That's why in today's life, I think we are more privileged and more educated than kids from back then in the 1976.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
If you look at the youth of today, what's one word that you'd describe them?
They are resilient.
They are resilient.
Yes.
That's actually a positive, man. Like I thought you'd come with something like, it's stressed,
No.
pressure, paranoia. But you actually came with something positive. If you were to compare the youth from, let's say, 80s, 90s, and the ones from 2010 to 2020 and up until now, what major difference do you notice?
From back then, from 2010 or...
Like I know you weren't there, but like in terms of like having engagements with people and stories that they tell about back then.
I would say the youth back then, they had a tough upcoming. They didn't actually enjoy the youth like us right now. They didn't have more rights like us. They weren't exposed to a lot of things that youth from 2010 downwards, or I could say 2000s or whatever, have right now. So the youth back then were forced to think like adults. They never got a chance to experience or to explore the youth like us in today's world. Us in today's world, we are more privileged, we are more exposed to a lot of things, we engage a lot. So back then was a lot of differences because of the racism, the colors and what's not and what's not.
But in terms of like just looking at like children, don't you think that they had a more adventurous type of upbringing, like just when they play? Because if you look at us, we so diverse, whereby you find kids that never even stepped outside of the house because they love their life online. But then I would assume that back then they didn't have technology, so the only place to see something, to feel, joy when you're with your friends, and was literally physical, was like that human touch. So in today's time, I'm not sure if people still experience that.
We could say in today's time, like you just said, some of us prefer to be in the houses and not play like back then. So back then they were doing a lot of stuff, like they had a lot of fun back then, because I could say back then they were smarter because they had to figure out ways to play with each other. They had to get to each other to make sure that they can get that freedom, even if it was for a small little time or so. But they were more like together as a youth. So in today's time, we are not that together with each other because we are living our lives differently and separately. Like everyone is on their own in today's life.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
In terms of emotions, was it emotionally difficult for them, or is it a little bit different for us?
No, it was not emotionally difficult for them because they were living in the moment. So us, we're not living in the moment, we're living for each other. You see what's the problem? So us, we have a lot of emotional damage. That's why we are struggling with this suicide, this mental health. It's a problem in today's youth.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
So in terms of the way technology is improving, would you say it's easier for us to educate ourselves? Like, because we do get a lot of dropouts, but I know you do need the qualifications, but at the same time, if you can apply what you're doing, like a physical skill, do you think you can do it without school?
Yes.
You think you can do it? But does it have to be like a talent thingy, or even in entrepreneurship?
It can be entrepreneurship, it can be a talent. But in today's time, what I do know is entrepreneurship requires a lot.
Yeah.
Because it has to do with people that needs to know what they want. Ne? So in order to know what you want, you must be like, I could say educated nyana, because if you are not, then it means you'll have to have people to do things for you. And mensen kan go rob, mensen kan go besigheid afbreek, mensen kan go business ideas steal. So it can be a problem when you are entrepreneur but you're not much educated, I could say. Yeah.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
What concerns you most when you think about the future of us, like the young people?
The most concern that I do have is that a lot of youth let their circumstances define them, which is something that we are not supposed to let it happen. And what makes me more concerned is the job opportunities. We do go to school, we get qualified, but still we do not have jobs, or it's very difficult to find a job. So the problem is the employment rate is going high, because like ons suffer man, en ons besef dit, ons dink net leer is beter, maar as jy agterkom, jy kan gaan leer en klomp sertifikaat het en nog steeds nie 'n werk kry nie. So there's a problem, because now it's a problem. You think of what's the point of learning and being educated, but then you come and sit home with those qualifications without working.
Would you say we require, do we require the youth to start thinking about entrepreneurship, start thinking about creating opportunities?
Yes, we do, because it would bring a lot of opportunities to the youth itself. As ons, kom ons sê ons is 5 wat entrepreneurship besighede het, dan beteken dit more than 500 people in each business can be employed. So the more jobs that are created, the more wil ek sê, hoe minder
opportunities.
more opportunities, more people are employed, minder hongerte, minder struggles. So gaan ander mense almal gaan 'n opportunity kry om iets te doen in die lewe, as om net so te sit and thinking studying is an option.
Maar hoe dink jy, wat 'n soort pressure face mense wat nou like hulle het gegaan, like they finished school, they graduated school, they went on further, they did tertiary, and then like with tertiary they also moved to maybe extend even further, like an extra year, longer studies, and then now come time to work, the person is not finding opportunities, but then the person passed so well and did all the right things that we think we have to do.
I think it comes in with you have all the qualifications and everything, and any experience. I think a lot of companies now requires 1 year, 2 year experience. Waar gaan jy experience kry as jy gaan geleer het vir soveel jare? And I think niemand het jy nog eens 'n kans gegee om jouself te prove dat jy kan die ding doen. And instead they want experience that you don't have. I think businesses should start giving the younger youth that is qualified a chance and not expect this experience thing.
Freedom is coming tomorrow.
If there's something that you would want to say to the youth of today, what would that be?
I would say to the youth of today that keep going and don't let your circumstances define who you are. Ek dink ons as die jeug van vandag, we have a lot of opportunities in front of us which we can't use because of these things of experience and what. Maar wat ek kan sê is, kom ons doen iets vir onsself. Let's start creating our own thing. As much as those people, Hector Peterson fought for us back in 1976, let's start as a youth to do our own thing and fight so that we can have an opportunity to use our qualifications, to use our onze kwalifikasies wat ons het sodat ons beter werke kan kry. At this point, I would say the youth is under a lot of derail, but we will make it.
Guys, we had such a nice chat. I just want to ask her to take her glasses off. I want you guys to see her nice lashes and the pretty face, because the glasses was reflecting and we couldn't see this beautiful black child. I want to thank you for your time, and I really appreciate that you actually went out and you added effort in terms of like checking what was the topic really about, and like also just like transfer your own experience and just understand what happened. And for that, I just want to thank you, because I mean, time is very precious, and people say that life is short. And yeah, I really love that as a youth you went out there and you put in effort, and I really love your motto of not letting your circumstances define you. I think for years I've let my circumstances also define me, because you know, I didn't start with what I'm doing right now when I needed to do it, because I just felt like I need to get this type of technology first. And now that I'm here and I'm listening to you, and I'm just like, yeah, so thank you for that, man.
Thank you.
Is there any shout out you want to give to anyone, your friends?
Shout out to my mom firstly, because that woman, Kimbo Godo. And then shout out to myself, guys. This is me pushing myself. I can't that mark. And then shout out to my friends. Shout out to Mpo. Shout out to Laviji.